Hello and welcome to Three Ps in the podcast.
Hi, James here.
And Zoe.
So we're having an interesting experience. One of our members actually isn't in the room with us, and it's a very
Empty feeling.
yeah. It's taking weird Skype conversation without faces to a whole new level where it's weird conversation recording without faces.
It's quite interesting to say the least.
Yeah, James is having a conversation essentially by himself, probably in his room right now.
My family probably thinks I'm so crazy right now. Who's he talking to? Oh, I don't know. That kid's weird.
Are you with your family right now?
Yeah, I'm in my room, but it's kind of soundproofed a bit right now.
I nailed it.
But
Oh.
they're not in the room though. Like I'm in my room by myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I thought you were staying at your grandma's.
No, that didn't. That ended up not happening.
Oh, okay. Well, that happens. Man. So one of the things that you guys will probably learn the closer this comes to becoming a thing that's out is we're moving all of our audio files over to YouTube, getting everything in one space, preparing for the eventuality of actual videos, and we might even be recording a video podcast sometime this summer, possibly, maybe.
Hopefully.
We'll see.
If James is able to get up here, we might be able to do it this summer.
I mean, I'm planning to try to get up there as many times as I feasibly can, but that's all in the air at this point.
Until then, YouTube's probably the best hosting option for us, given
Oh,
that
definitely.
everybody knows how to utilize the functions of YouTube better than some wacky variety of podcast gardens and whatnot.
So until we have actual video fileage, we will be making little, slideshows of things that already exist that are pictures we own.
Yeah, we'll just be keeping it kind of homemade kitschy slideshow.
But so we haven't really talked to each other in a good week now.
Right.
And so we've been kind of looking forward to this as much as anyone else has. I have a training this weekend. I've got my first Safeway training for my job. So I'm pretty excited about that.
I mean, congratulations, man. That's awesome.
As long as you don't take your brother's advice, I think everything will be perfect.
Oh, yeah, my brother's advice was steal at least 3 things a day from work.
Yeah, well,
That's not a good
yeah,
thing.
it was like, I encourage you to take no less than 3 items and see if they notice. I feel like he doesn't quite understand. The Safeway here is really, really nice, at least compared to like the workers I've met back in the valley or in other cities. The people here are really, really friendly, and it seems like a happier place.
Well, generally, with a store this scale where you get enough people in where you're getting business, but not so many people that it's like you can't make friends.
Yeah.
Because I know, bigger city Safeways and Fred Meyer's and stuff like that.
Fred Meyer's is more like a Fry's.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is more like a Fry's too.
It is. It's
But,
owned by the same people.
But I mean, you get so many people coming in and out, even just for weekly groceries, that it's just you don't have the same kind of personability that you can get at a city this size.
That's true. So it could be the small town factor that makes it seem friendlier.
Well, and it's not so small town that like the
You'll know everybody.
Well, not that. I mean, the competition isn't so bad that you don't have the workers, super high strung. But so I'm excited for that. They've got Zoe's name down on a list, so she'll be getting a call at some point.
Hopefully, yeah. They said they were pushing me through pre-screening ahead of others. But I'm supposed to wait, and then they'll call me at some point and set up an interview time.
Well, good luck to you, Zoe. That's really cool as well.
Thank you, James.
Everything's coming up, Millhouse.
It definitely is. I've got a interview kind of thing this Saturday at Jimmy John's, so hopefully I get something there.
You will be such a happy camper if you can get summer work with them. You won't have to, buy food again.
Yeah, actually, yeah, because those sandwiches are good, man. I mean, I don't want to plug anything, but they're tasty.
A good sandwich is a good sandwich. It's one of those things, I hate sandwiches, but if someone makes a good sandwich, then I can eat it forever.
You really can't beat a good sandwich.
Yeah.
I feel like a good sandwich is kind of like, it's like the king food.
It's the most versatile thing you can have, man. You got
The sandwich
Food
is the most
everywhere.
versatile
Yeah.
fruit.
Well, I mean, like, ribs are great, but you can also make a prime rib sandwich, and I mean that's like taking it to another level.
So it's pretty much, can you put bread around it? Then it's a sandwich.
Well, there's more ingredients to that, because like you can make, I mean, my great baby back rib recipe for a sandwich would be the ribs, some Swiss cheese, and then you put some coleslaw on top of that, and then you put bread around it, and then you got yourself a nice rib sandwich.
It sounds horrendous.
it sounds awesome. What are you talking about?
I don't like barbecue
I know.
or coleslaw or Swiss. But I like bread.
Just all the good things in life you don't like.
I like Swiss every now and then, but for the most part, I don't know. I think my mom ate it too much, and I was like, it looks weird.
You
It
have the
smells weird.
you have the lamest food variety palette. Like you're just like, I like the things I like, and I like those hard.
Macaroni, the only thing I need in life.
The ultimate food, man. Mac and cheese is so
If
good.
I could only eat like one, like if I had my life laid out as a menu and I was only allowed to have like one food in each like category, like one appetizer, one entree, one dessert, it'd probably be like cheese sticks, macaroni and cheesecake. Like it'd be really straightforward.
Oh man.
I'd be so fat and happy.
No, that as long as it's not that fucking
And
goldfish.
and a kind of lemonade. That would be my drink.
As long as it's not that goldfish macaroni and cheese.
Oh, that was Connor and I tried goldfish macaroni recently. James, have you seen it at all?
I have. It looked really good, but now
Okay,
knowing
no,
this,
it's
I don't think so.
really, really bad. It's really bad. So
Well, that's disappointing.
Easily one of the most disappointing lunches I've ever had.
it was our dinner. We were eating goldfish macaroni, so I made a double batch right before we were supposed to go to D&D because we knew we were going to be there for a long time and we were going to come back home and be starving. So we're like, hey, if we do 2 boxes of macaroni in the same pot, double all the extra like butter and milk ingredients, it'll be fantastic. We'll be so full we won't even think about eating until the next day. And we had a box of what they had labeled as original flavor, which is just cheddar, and then nacho cheese. Now, the
Oh,
nacho
dear.
cheese one, the cheese packet smelled kind of like dehydrated, vaporized Dorito.
Dehydrated, vaporized.
I don't know. It was like Dorito dust, like extremely fine Dorito dust coating Mars, just like super fun dust. And I was like, oh, well, that's a really strong smell, but not like necessarily unpleasant because I like Doritos. And like with the regular cheese flavor, it will probably be like super toned down because I think on its own it would be like really strong. And then I was enchanted with the adorable little goldfish shaped noodles, precious. And we cooked them and we mixed it together, and it wasn't too runny and it wasn't too thick. It was like the perfect kind of cheesy noodle consistency. And then I looked at it and I was like, this looks great. And I was like, this looks great. And then we each took a giant spoonful, stuck it in our mouths, and kind of was like, this doesn't taste nearly how I expected it to. And
So
we
it
both
looked
quit.
really good, but it didn't taste good at all.
Yeah,
That's
it smelled
disappointing,
like
man.
it smelled kind of different, but it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, because it's nacho flavor, so it's gonna be like a weird smell for like part of it. And I can get past that because I am already one of those hideous people that likes the nuclear nacho cheese goop. Like one of my favorite after school snacks used to be eating rainbow colored goldfish and dipping it into a bowl of super hot nacho cheese nuclear waste.
Really, Zoe?
So we've officially found the one subject that Zoe will talk about infinitely.
Food, man. Hey, food is so
Oh,
good.
not food.
Cheese.
Cheese.
Hey, man, cheese is good too.
Cheese is great. The stuff Zoe eats isn't cheese.
It's more like
Well,
canola
here's
oil.
the I do have stands. I don't
Bionuclear
like, I don't like
waste.
those things where it's like not necessarily craft singles, but anything that's like that, where it's like the pre-wrapped single slice cheeses. Now, where you get like a package of like 8 little like sharp cheddar slices or Swiss or whatever, but like the individually wrapped, like was it American? Is that what it's
Yeah,
called?
American
cheese. Where
cheese.
it's orange plastic, orange edible plastic. That is gross.
One slice of pre-wrapped freedom.
Actually, that whole thing was invented, I think, because of like food stamps. It was meant to be for families who couldn't afford stuff. It was like some weird.
America.
I'll look it up, but I'm pretty sure like American cheese came out of like people not being able to buy like real cheese. So,
Oh
like,
no, I'm positive that you're correct there. And
Sounds right to me.
I think
Yeah.
it came out of like the food stamps or something like that, or maybe rations. One or the other, like where people needed something but it wasn't able to like get all the way through.
we'll fact check that and put in the links. I just know that I lived off that stuff in Kentucky for a while.
With the single slice
Yeah.
cheesies.
Well, because I would Ernie, that guy, the old racist guy.
Oh yeah.
He would help me out when I didn't have food for lunches, and he had those gross like sausages.
Oh, you mean
The
like the
Vienna
kind in the cat
sausages?
Yeah,
food can?
Vienna sausages.
The
God.
cat food can sausages?
Those
Yeah.
things are so gross, man.
Oh, where
Yeah.
it's like the sausage version of sardines.
Yeah, and then he had saltines and he had
God.
American cheese. And it was like,
Oh.
but it was like one of those things where it was like, fake protein, fake cheese, and some crackers. And I was like, I just needed to eat something.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I was like so like starved that I started looking forward to Vienna sausages, American cheese, and saltines.
That's fair.
I think when you're hungry enough, you'll eat just about anything that's food.
Oh,
no,
dude,
I don't. I'm
that-
too picky. Connor's
was-
realize that.
that was the literal saltine at the end of the desert. It was, oh.
What are you, is that a phrase? Is that
Yeah,
like
like
a
when you've
term of
been
phrase?
lost in the desert.
A saltine at the end of the
Well,
desert?
I think it's cracker, but it's like the best thing you've ever eaten because you've been lost
Isn't
in the
it
desert.
Oasis
never-
or something? Because like saltines
Yeah.
are pretty salty and like you're already thirsty.
Yeah, I always picture like an oasis. Connor doesn't know his phrases. Maybe we're wrong. We'll find it. We'll see. We'll link it.
Is that a train I hear in the background?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Choo choo.
The California band?
Yeah, no, we're not hearing that train in the background.
Oh, you guys don't like them, I take it. Now I'm being stared at. They're okay once in a while for like 3 songs. I think that's
yeah.
I just got a bunch of Danger Mouse's music, but that's a conversation for another time. So I was browsing the internet today and I found something fantastic.
Okay, do tell.
There was a game announced called Glorious Leader, and you get to play as Kim Jong-un,
Oh
the
my
leader of
gosh.
North Korea.
I already like it.
Yeah. You can ride a unicorn
As
Kim Jong-un. You
Okay.
get to
From
ride
the
a
best
unicorn.
Korea?
Yeah. You fight Americans, and it features Dennis Rodman.
Oh my god.
Can I buy this game now,
I don't-
please?
Do you know what the platforms are? Or is
Well-
it still in the works?
No, it's a side scroller.
Okay.
And the best part is that like Dennis Rodman isn't something that just like pops up like an Easter egg. Dennis Rodman is your co-op buddy.
I was just getting ready to say is he like the guy you're supposed to protect the whole time?
No, he's like your
No.
second player. Like he's the Tails to Sonic.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god. So yeah, there's just a bunch like North Korean parliament is turned into like a basketball court. You got a bunch of great like North Korea scenery, where you're
North Korean scenery?
North Korean scenery, where you're just fighting down capitalist pigs, i.e. the Americans,
Ooh.
and you get to ride through on your unicorn, and bro fist with Dennis Rodman.
That's crazy. What's the unicorn like? Is the unicorn pretty?
The unicorn's a unicorn with flaming hooves and a flaming tail.
So
Yes,
almost
please.
like is it Rapidash?
No, it's just a unicorn. It's not a Pokemon.
Well, I'm just saying, but it's kind of got like that aesthetic, right? So it'd be
Yeah.
like
I mean, you can pick if you need a picture without the picture. Picture Kim Jong-un riding a Rapidash.
with a horn.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Well, Rapidash has a horn, doesn't
Does
it?
it? I don't know. We'll find it.
Oh god, I feel stupid.
That's okay. There's lots of Pokemon.
Yeah, Rapidash has a horn.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. So it is essentially a Rapidash. Woo!
Kinda.
Yeah.
So basically, the only thing that's come out. There's been a press release, and some game footage. I don't have a release date for anyone, but I will keep posted as it comes out. I did fall off the horse on my Minecraft promise. I haven't played, the modded save file yet. I've been looking forward to. I just haven't found the time for it yet. I've been pretty busy.
Especially with the horrendous feat of getting that episode 2 edited. That was brutal. There were so many problems with that file.
Yeah. But I will definitely have some things to talk about next time. And it'll be great. I hope.
Well,
Hopefully.
speaking of glorious and kind of cool things, Ubisoft has announced the next Far Cry game.
Ooh. Be soft.
Far Cry 4 will take place in the Himalayas with a despotic, self-appointed king as kind of your antagonist. He looks like Julian Assange in a really nice suit.
I think I saw a picture of him.
I mean, it seems really cool, and Far Cry 3 was pretty fun. So I mean,
So
it should be fun too. I think.
I haven't played any of the Far Cries.
I've watched Let's Plays of Far Cries, but I lack the system to actually do it myself.
But would you fill me in on the basic like storyline? I've never played a Far Cry. Like I'm not even totally sure what.
So the general consensus of Far Cry is you're a captured hostage, and they're like terrorists that capture you, and you escape somehow, and you fight your way out, and you fight your way to the top, and you kill the leader. It's kind of Far Cry, and along the way you make some cool guns, save the natives, find diamonds or gold, and blow a lot of shit up.
All right.
Yeah, because you're always in like some kind of like desolate, isolated location, right? And so I was like,
very
oh, we were
isolated
just tourists, and then we got our speedboat got taken over by pirates, and now
Or
we're
like-
here. Yeah, it's always something
the
weird.
third one you're like a tourist, like the second and first one you're like a hunter or something.
Yeah, it's kind of
and-
like people doing their thing in the wrong place that run into people doing bad things, and then they get
Very
taken.
bad things, and then
Yeah.
you're like always some remote and exotic environment with various dangerous animals and lots of high explosives.
And the graphics are hyper realism, right? Like it's
Yeah, they've always kind of prided themselves on having realistic graphics, and in the third one they had very good fire spread and fire damage. Like you could burn down an entire forest in the game.
nice. They have really nice water reflective graphics too, which is a hard.
Yep, and sharks that are fucking hard to kill.
Okay.
Just like real life. You wouldn't want one of those like easy like punch it in the nose and it dies and explodes sharks.
The character's name is Jason Brody.
Grody, bro.
Yeah, that was the third. That was in the third one. It was Jason Brody.
Brody.
Yeah. That's a difficult name to get around.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot to say that Far Cry 4 is coming out this November to current generation and last generation consoles, and also PC.
Something we haven't talked about that I'm super hyped about, and that everyone should be super hyped about, is
What?
the other November release of the Pokemon game remakes for Ruby and Sapphire.
Oh my god, yes.
I know.
I know social media sites were set on fire by the just the like super cocky like press announcement of it coming out. Like there was like no gameplay footage. There's nothing like
Which
that.
is kind of like, so yeah, we're gonna redo it, and we know you love it, so have fun.
They didn't even do that. There were no words. It was just the boxes, and it said coming in November.
Because
And-
they know you're gonna buy it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's like they could not show gameplay until the day after it came out, and I would still pre-order the games.
Me
Yeah.
too.
I mean,
In fact, I plan on pre-ordering the games.
when we have the
Oh, that's
opportunity.
when the pre-order comes out, first thing I'm doing.
Yeah, and actually,
What are you gonna pick, James? Which one?
Ruby.
Yeah, I think Connor's leaning towards Ruby too. I'll probably pick Sapphire because I have to be opposite from Connor. That's just how our life works.
Well, that's usually how you want to do it. If you've got two people in the same household, you want
Well,
them to
yeah,
have...
but I don't want to match you anyway. Don't want to match you.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. But I don't know when pre-orders are supposed to open.
They're actually open now.
Oh,
What?
well,
I
guess
didn't know
what,
that.
everybody? Pre-orders for Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire, the remake, is that only available for the 3DS, or is it also 2DS compatible?
It's 2DS compatible.
Okay, so
Yep.
But it looks like
it's open.
pre-orders just went up today.
That's fantastic.
Wowie, wow, wow, wow. I know what I'm doing tomorrow.
Yeah, right. I'm not sure as far as pricing goes on pre-orders, because I know generally how I'm used to it is pre-orders work like you pay down like $5 or $10 and then you pay the rest of the price when the game comes in, correct?
Yeah, that's how it works.
Okay. Well, we'll probably
We'll see what we can swing.
yeah.
I'm
We'll
pretty
do
sure
it
that's
as
how
soon
it
as we
works.
can.
Because I mean, if it's just $5, that's just $10, and that's not awful. We could probably do that Saturday, maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. We'll see what we can pull.
Point is, we'll have him at some point in
Yeah.
the not too distant future. By the time November comes around, we'll probably.
Well, we'll want to pre-order them.
And
Yeah, I'm just
hopefully this
saying.
time I won't beat the entire game in under a span of 10 hours.
You beat the whole
'Cause-
thing in 10 hours?
I got to this Elite Four for the third time in under 10 hours in Pokemon, the newest one.
Yeah,
I mean, why? It was too easy.
Real. Well, I think the thing there was it was super easy because of the EXP share.
EXP share, and I had Blaziken, which had EXP boost, and I played with him in Pokemon on me so much that I got a super high EXP boost. Like per battle, I was getting over like 2,000 EXP, even from basic trainers.
Yeah,
That's crazy.
I got through the first gym with the EXP share, and like I just had to turn it off.
Yeah, I
kept
was
it on 'cause
playing
it
with
was
it.
nice.
I was playing with it on, and then Connor advised me that if I wanted to make the game like more realistic.
Well, just last.
Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's just when I say realistic, where it's not like, oh wow, I just sped through the entire like lifetime's journey of this child in like 3 days to turn it off. But then I had like a bunch of school projects hit me, so I've had my Pokemon Y on the back shelf for a little bit.
I really wish I did that because like I got the game at midnight and I was at the Elite Four by 8 a.m. the next day.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my goodness, James.
it was definitely something where the game was a lot more enjoyable.
Do you have
uh,
X or Y, James?
I have Y.
Okay, so we match.
Yeah, I enjoyed the game a lot more with the EXP share turned off.
I was gonna say you could always go back and redo it.
That's what I'm thinking of doing this summer, doing a whole new or doing a challenge or something. I don't know.
That might be fun.
That'd be
I
kind of
know
cool.
that I want to finish mine off because school stuff I got so far behind on it.
If
I can't even remember where I am. I'm so
if we wanted to do that this
Far
summer,
off.
we could actually talk about it in podcasts with updates. Like we come up with a challenge, post it to the Tumblr, and then we could post through the Tumblr.
I
Yeah.
like how that sounds.
Like do little data entries. That might be a fun way to.
Yep, we'll see what we can work out. Maybe I'll do some research about good Pokemon.
Or we can come up with
Challenges.
one.
Yeah, I'm just saying like just to get ideas. Maybe like a kickstart idea.
Sounds good.
But so going with the idea of Nintendo-based news, Nintendo will be in a huge lawsuit soon with Philips, who is the producer of a lot of different goods that you see around people's homes. They just have a giant range of stuff. So like whoever is the big like founder behind that is probably rolling in money.
Kind of like Rubbermaid.
Yeah, kind of like Rubbermaid. Like you just see them with a lot of things and you don't quite realize that they're the company behind it until you look at the like fine print on packaging. But apparently they're suing Nintendo because they are claiming patent infringement, which is a huge deal. And if they go through with it, it's going to put a lot of halts on everything that revolves around the Wii and the Wii U. They're saying that the patent pertains to the virtual body control device. So it's all the stuff that has to do with like motion control and like sensing motion. And it's just going to be it's going to be a huge problem for Nintendo. Like if all their production for their gaming consoles, or I guess, their less mobile gaming consoles gets halted like that, I can't imagine what that would do. But
Poor
apparently,
Nintendo, man.
yeah, apparently the Philips company is already trying to arrange a trial by jury for this patent infringement because they've been claiming that they contacted Nintendo earlier on in mid-December of 2011, and Nintendo just kind of brushed them aside and said, yeah, whatever, and kept doing what they were doing. So, I don't know.
I mean, you say poor Nintendo, but it's Nintendo. Like,
That's true. They can just whatever.
they could just they could just throw money at it. I don't know. I wouldn't be worried about anything. And I mean, Nintendo is such a giant. I mean, even back when Nintendo was just starting, Nintendo was a giant.
Yeah, well, one of the quotes you have from the whole Philips representative is it says that Nintendo has, with specific intent or willful blindness, actively and knowingly induced infringement on the 379 patent. So it sounds like they gave them a warning saying, hey, you're in danger of going against what we arranged. You know, we wouldn't want to upset our business dealings. And they're just kind of like, hey, you know what? We're going to make money and we're going to ignore you. And it's one of those things where it's really disappointing. And I don't necessarily want their production to be affected by it. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Philips has a valid case against the company either.
Knowing them, they probably don't have a real valid case. They're just trying to make money off something.
You don't think that Nintendo would maybe squeak by thinking we have a big enough name, we'll worry about the repercussions later?
You know, I really don't know. Maybe.
I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like Nintendo has just come up with technology. Like, they did the whole, you know, their waggly stuff. I mean, worst comes to worst, maybe they, like, because you run into things where people have ideas at the same time.
Yeah.
And it's like, it'll come down to, like, when someone patents something, and it could be something where it's just settled with money, because they're both, you know, fairly rich companies. But it's like, I mean, Philips might even be contracted, and they would just get a bit of money off of everything sold.
Well, there's more to it, because Philips company, that whole corporation, is also alleging that they have another infringement against Nintendo for a different patent that applies to the user interface system based on pointing device. And that
fuck?
Yeah, that's what it says. Like, that's what it's like labeled as. So they have the patent like ending numbers, like the last 3 digits, and probably what the heading of it is. But they said that complaint was filed May 14th of this year, so just a day or two ago.
Yeah, I feel like this might not come to as much fruition as we're thinking it might. I don't know. I think this will be really open and shut or swept under the rug. I don't think much is going to come out of this.
Yeah, it's just a jury's gonna throw it out, or they'll just settle with some sum, and it'll be all over with.
Well, that's the other thing, is it's one of those things where, like, yes, I could see Nintendo potentially not following through with some of the patents, like, the way they should, but Philips is also apparently going after them for, like, 3 times whatever damage was caused by this. Like, 3 times the worth, just offhanded.
Yeah, well, and I could also just see, like, Nintendo pouring money into lawyers and just having this become a non-problem.
Yeah, but if Philips wins, what they're doing is they're going to try to prohibit Nintendo from having anything to do with items that go against their patents, so that would just completely shut down the Wii, the Wii U, all their motion sensing devices that go with it. It's going to be...
But that could also lead to Nintendo getting involved with better motion sensing technology.
Potentially. But it's one of those things where, should Philips win and maybe not get their 3 times whatever financial gain they were hoping for, Nintendo will still have to, like, stop what they're doing, redesign things. Like, new product will not be available until they resolve the problem.
I could see Nintendo just going right above this and just, like, contracting someone who has better motion technology, or paying for someone to develop better motion technology, and then just skipping the lawsuit and making their product better.
Yeah, we'll have it, like, have that kind of research going on while paperwork for the court is in motion, and then just settle the case immediately.
Yeah, I could see this ending very quickly.
We'll see what happens. It's one of those things where it's like it's a very well-known gaming company that is quite often idolized, so it's kind of interesting to hear a piece of news where they could potentially be in the wrong. It was just one of those things that kind of caught my interest, because obviously I don't know much background about either of the companies, but it is an interesting case in my mind.
Yeah, no, I would definitely agree with that. I think any kind of lawsuit against big companies like that, especially over patent type things, is interesting.
Especially when they're citing them for multiple accounts over several years.
What's interesting, though, is Philips and Nintendo have had a history.
Yeah. It's different.
What's their history other than the recent lawsuits?
I'm pretty sure they've worked together before in the past on products.
That would make
Aside from
sense.
the Wii and the Wii U.
I think beyond that, it was the Philips CDI. It was a compact disc and it was a mixture of a compact disc player and a Nintendo SNES.
Oh,
Yeah.
that goes way back then.
And also it had like a SNES style controller, and it ran a proprietary operating system and could play a list of games and all that. It was interesting because they worked a lot on just like cartridge based stuff and disc based stuff. It's interesting that they did that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that is interesting. I mean, we'll definitely say more about it when more information comes up.
Oh,
For
do you know what
sure.
was on the CDI?
What?
Those shitty Legend of Zelda point and click games.
Oh, great.
That's where their connection is.
And that's why they stopped working together.
Because Zelda's like a huge market for Nintendo.
Zelda's one of the hugest. Like,
It was when Nintendo lost the license
you
for
have
it.
like, oh really?
And that's why Philips is like, yeah, we can use this now. And they made the worst. If you get a chance, play them because they're so bad.
Yeah.
I never knew that Nintendo lost the license for it.
I mean, they have it now.
Now, but it's just, I always figured it was something that was theirs and consistently theirs and always in their possession and always will be.
You know who could have made a cool Zelda adaptation? The Camelot producers.
That would have been fantastic.
Same guys who did Golden Sun.
You're a huge fan of those.
I love Golden Sun. I feel like they don't get enough recognition as games. I didn't get to play through the all the way through the 3DS one, or the DS one. It was just the DS one.
Yeah, you had that rented.
Yeah. But I know the first ones were I feel like they were probably the first handheld games outside of Pokemon that I really like fell in love with, and I think they really got me into the kind of like swordplay RPG style. They were definitely the first games where they had kind of like customizable classes that were dependent on the powers that you found.
Well, it certainly sounds fun to say the least.
Have you not played Golden Sun?
No, I haven't.
You're
I've
the
always
only one
wanted
in our
to, but never had a
P-pod.
chance to.
Well, you should look online and see if you can find some of the old GBA games.
I definitely will, because those sound really fun.
Yeah.
I watched Connor play them. I know that's kind of silly, but I didn't have anything to play them on at the time. I was like, oh, this looks cool. And they did look good. It was just one of those things where I was just out of luck.
Yeah, they were really, really fun games. I loved those games. I replay them at least every like 2 years or so when I can get my hands on them. And I was finally able to find them and buy them in my last job. And so that's worked out great for me.
Well, that's good at least.
Yeah. God. Yeah, those are definitely. I remember playing and obtaining Golden Sun at the same time that I was playing Pokemon Stadium 2.
Great game, by the way.
Yeah, I
I
think
never got to play that one.
my dad and I found the gold silver cartridge in a store. I can't remember what store, but we found that and we found Golden Sun. And so it was back when a Hollywood Video was a thing.
Yep, those were the
Oh
days.
God, I remember that place.
And then they started selling games.
Hollywood Video, just in like my family's opinion, was always like miles ahead of Blockbuster. Like, because both of those are gone now. It's
Yeah.
like Hollywood Video was the one that had like GameSpot. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Attached to it, and that place was wonderful.
Yeah, that
It
was
a
great.
Haven.
And they had all those GBA games in the case. That was nice.
They had everything.
But I think that's where we're gonna stop for tonight. I think we're starting to get little on in time, and people need to go to bed, and people need to edit. So we'll. Zoe's crying and yawning.
I'm
You
tired.
said the Y word.
Yawn.
It's gonna be stuck with me all night now.
Well, just make sure you don't listen to the podcast later. Yawn.
Oh, I won't.
We'll have secret yawns embedded throughout it.
Subliminal yawning. Subliminal, not subliminal.
Don't. Please, no. I don't want to yawn anymore.
Subliminal.
Okay, so we should have a line to wrap it all up.
A sublimp.
Okay. We need something to wrap up the episode.
Subliminal blimps.
No. It's not working.
It's working for me. Yeah, no. So this is goodbye for tonight.
Well, I'll reminisce about Blockbuster's gone by. Well, I guess Blockbuster Hollywood Video still way better.
I would say for anyone who's following us on the Tumblr, look out in the next week for posts on the Pokemon Challenge.
Yep, and we'll be happy to play anything you got, and even know how annoying or frustrating it is, I'll attempt it, because I got nothing else to do.
Yeah, we'll all give it our best shot.
We'll find a post, and then we'll post screenshots of the game to the Tumblr, because we can't get in trouble for that. And we will keep everyone posted. Look for our videos on YouTube. We love you, and we'll
Have
talk to you
fun.
later.
Talk to you later, guys.
Good
Bye.
night.
Bye.